Keeping records. This morning, I activated Time Machine. Now that may not mean much to you, so I'll explain. I have a Macintosh computer, and Time Machine is an automatic backup process, which means that everything on my computer hard drive is recorded in the backup called Time Machine. Let's try that out. Now, I've read that there are two kinds of computer users: those who keep a regular backup of their data, and those who are going to. Statistics show that about 4% of people belong in the first kind, and the other 96% need to keep a backup. Very well, until this morning, I belong to the 96%, but now, as we speak, the backup is occurring and I am recording my data into Time Machine. Now, this speech is about keeping records, and obviously my Time Machine backup is keeping a record. I'm going to do it in 3 bits. First of all, I'm going to talk about the world around us. Then I'm going to talk about a particular part of that world for me, my obsession in keeping records for Victoria Key Toastmasters. And lastly, I'm going to talk about our new club, Armidale Toastmasters, that we are starting at the present time. What records should we keep for Armidale Toastmasters? Let's think about the world around us. Do you keep a diary? I feel I should, but I don't. You read the paper? Find out what's happened in politics yesterday, last week? Do you read books? Do you go to the library? Do you consult the World Wide Web and find all the information that's there? Well, if you do, why are you interested in those records of the past? I know we all are, but why are we? I want you to think about that. Let me tell you about some of the amazing things that are available now in the world around us. It's just not what you can take with a photograph on camera or anything like that. What about the archaeologists who are digging up fossils? They find out about the past, they go through, they even tell you what kind of rocks were formed 1 million years ago, or when that particular species evolved. And did you know that now it's possible to go back in time to almost the beginnings of our universe, about 14 billion years ago, at the time of the Big Bang? Did you know there are records now of what our universe was like a few minutes after the Big Bang, which started everything? Wow, now that is a record. But what about me? That's what I'm talking about, and my obsessive interest in Victoria Key Toastmasters. The club started in April 1995. I've got a record of the agenda of that first meeting on April the 14th, 1995. And I've got copies of almost every agenda since then, just a few missing. I know who were the original members of Victoria Key. In fact, I've got a record of every member who has joined Victoria Key from then till now. And someone joined last Wednesday night, and I believe someone's going to join this coming Wednesday night. I have records, and I will have a record of that person next Wednesday night if they do join. Not only have I got their name, their address, their email, their phone, all those kind of things, and the date when they joined, but not for all, but for almost everybody, I've got a photo of that person. Now that is an obsession. What's the value of that? Well, there is actually quite a lot of value in that for me as I continue my obsession with Victoria Key Toastmasters. I won't go into all the things now because I don't have enough time to detail it all, but I've got those records. What about Armidale Toastmasters? Armidale's got a history. It started off as Amity down in Albany a couple of years ago, started by Betty Hart, a former member of Victoria Key. And then Betty came to Perth and the club came with her. And it's dwindled down to just about, well, really 5 real members. This afternoon we're holding a meeting and we're going to discuss the demonstration meeting we're going to hold at the end of September to restart the club, not as Amity, but as Armidale Toastmasters. What records should we keep? Will it be a Victoria Key kind of thing? Agendas, members' names, details, even photos of every member? What's the point of it all? Why would we do that? Very well. I've been asking you to think about keeping records. So I ask you this question. Do you keep a diary? Do you know what you did the day before yesterday? Who you saw, who you spoke to? What commitments you made? Things you were going to do? Ooh, I wish I did. I'd be a lot better if I did. But at the present time, I'm not up to that. Do you consult various authorities to find out what has happened in the past? Do you read books, magazines, newspapers? Do you go onto the World Wide Web and do a Google search? Are you interested in how the universe began 14 billion years ago? Does it really matter? Well, that's my question for you. Keeping records? Oh, and by the way, while I've been recording this particular speech, Timeline has backed up, yes, 2.3 gigs of my hard drive, and it'll all be finished around about 7 o'clock this evening. Keeping records? Well, I'm a reformed character.